How's your Thanksgiving going? Mhm. What did you guys have for Thanksgiving? We had a little bit too much on our table. Let's see. We had turkey, obviously. We had a pork leg that my dad did. My mom made a lasagna. I made mashed potatoes. Mm, made 6 pumpkin pies and 2 French silk pies, which were new for me. First time I ever made them. And then sister made green beans, which were fucking delicious. Like, oh my god. I don't know why people complain about vegetables because we have no issues. So I don't know if you guys aren't just cooking them right, but they're pretty tasty. Um, we had flan, typical for us. Let's see. Oh yeah, my sister's father-in-law, which we met, um, he made tacos de lengua, which I'm actually not a big fan of. Usually carne asada is like as close as I get, really. If not, I'll just avoid meat. Not that I'm vegan or vegetarian at all. It's just, I don't know, personal preference. Usually we'll go lean towards the chicken. So, let's see. All the kiddos were there, which was so good to have. I don't think it's, I think it's been a few years since all the kids got together. Like we had all the kids together, including my siblings, which was a fucking miracle in itself, which I'm extremely grateful to the whole universe, not just one thing. Um, yeah, it had been a good amount of years since we had a good time like that. We did have a little bit of family drama, only because my brother-in-law, my brother's ex, his baby mama, drama. um, yeah, she had this ex that came. She wasn't even dating the guy at the moment right now, and she came over to drop off the kids right for Thanksgiving because this year it was our turn to have them, and then he just pulled up out of nowhere and was just shouting. She panicked. She noticed that he was following her, so she immediately told her daughter, the oldest, to call my mom and to tell her to get her dad outside for her mom, which was extremely unusual for them. So my mom did that. Um, she saw the car. He was, I think, already outside. The girls went immediately inside, right? They're kids, they're young. Um, and so as soon as they come in, I'm in the bathroom doing all this mess. And and then all of a sudden I hear shouting, right? And I mean I had my phone, I was watching Sister on Netflix, which is a great memory for me, reminiscing. And yeah, I hear them shouting and I immediately rush over, right? I leave my phone on the sink, which was this very stupid move of me. And um, I just see this dude just shouting, right? And he's like shouting at my mom and shouting at her. And I'm noticing that she's inside the house, which is not normal. And it looks like she's crying, right? She's bawling her eyes out. And so um, I don't know what's happening. I'm still trying to make sense of it. And so, um, the whole time the dude's just shouting, right? He's just shouting and pointing and shouting and pointing, shouting and pointing. And I'm like, I'm still not gathering what the fuck is happening at this time. So, my mom's shouting back at him, which is, again, still not understanding what's causing her to react like this. She's bawling her eyes out, and all of a sudden I see my brother is outside, like rushing this way and that. And then he goes through the door trying to get, I guess, his cell phone. I didn't have my cell phone, like I said, no one had their phones. So this whole time, this dude is like literally tugging and like ripping the door away from my mom while she's trying to close it. He's literally holding it back and ripping it away from her. And he's just like, watch. And like, he kept pointing and like threatening. I can't say names, obviously. Um, and he just kept saying her name, like, watch, watch, I got you, I got you. Like, you're gonna see, you're gonna pay for this. Like, you better not call the cops. And so she's just crying her eyes out. She can't make sense. And my brother runs downstairs, gets his phone. I'm shouting at the kids to get my phone. So then my brother comes back out. He's like, listen, dude, like, I don't understand what your beef is. He's like, yeah, I know that you're with her. Um, my brother's like, I haven't been with her since our last daughter. Like, she cut ties. We are done. They're like, I wish, everything like that. But there's absolutely nothing going on with us. And he's like, yeah, but I saw you hold her. He's like, I simply greeted her. She's the mother of my children. I simply greeted her. And it was anything inappropriate. He leaned over to like give her a side hug. Like, that was it. Like, no big deal. Okay. There wasn't even a kiss on the cheek, nothing like that. And he's like, no, I know you're fucking her, and she's a fucking bitch. She's this, she's that, she's a hoe. And we're like, okay, whatever is happening between you guys, that's totally cool. That's your drama. Clearly, you guys are wanting this because you're continuing. And he goes, gets in the car, which turns out to be her car that she had given him to repair months ago, back, I guess, when they were dating. And he refuses to give back the car. For whatever reason, she has not filed a police report. Go figure. And he gets in the car, and he's literally just like driving back and forth in front of our door and just shouting, like mouthing off. And meantime, I finally get my phone. I'm calling 911, and he's just shouting. He's like, "What? You calling 911? Like, I got you. I got you." Like, and then he turns and goes to my brother. And he's like, "I got you, bro. Like, I got you. We're gonna settle this. Like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna be in and out of jail, and like, I'll be back. I got you. Like, you calling the cops on me, bro? Like." And the whole time we're like, dude, like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, she literally just came over to drop off the kids. Like, that was it. Like, she doesn't even go inside the house. She doesn't do anything like that. The kids simply step out of the car and walk to the door. Like, I don't understand. And so she's inside the house. She's telling us what's happening. She's like, he's been like this for months, and like, I don't know what to do. He's always pulling at me. Like, I go home and I have so many bruises on me. And we're just like, you know how to settle this. Like, she she made a fake situation and called the cops on my brother years ago and filed a restraining order on him, claiming that he was trying to get in the house, which was not the case at all. As a matter of fact, he was simply trying to get his arm out of the door, and she was pressing the door on his arm. She was a handful back in the day, okay? And so, I don't know if it's karma, but now this dude is technically the altercator, right? And so we're like, you did that to him and he didn't do anything. Yet with this dude who has severely, like, clearly, like, continued to do this, you've let it go with a breeze. Like, it makes no sense. Which, again, victim, I understand. I've been a victim of my own shit. However, you kind of click through it and you make sense of it and you get your shit together. So we were just surprised because we're like, if he's doing this and very blatantly, even in front of us, who he has no idea who we are or how many people were inside the house, what kind of show has he done before and in front of the kids? Because he did this in front of my nieces. So that to us is like completely unacceptable. Like, if we could, we would, right? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And if you're smart, you will never say anything directly. So, but um, yeah, we're just like, you don't need to make a scene. You can go ahead and go on about your day. So then after that, the cops took forever. I don't know why. Sure, fine, whatever. But they took forever. And keep in mind, at this point, it was like at least three people calling 911. Okay. Um, we live near and like almost like a main road, so I'm pretty sure other people saw this too. So he took off, surprised. Meanwhile, we get her inside, and she's hysterical, right? She's in shock. She's shaking. Her lips went completely purple. And so I quickly go and get some incense and like I try to relax her and calm her down. I check up on the kids immediately. They're okay. I can tell obviously that they're shaken up, right? It's their mother. Um, and I state it to them, I make it very clear immediately at that point. I'm like, this is not normal and this is not acceptable. Do not accept this as your norm. I'm like, this is not something that is normal in a relationship. It's not healthy. Um, and of course, yes, we understand. We know. We've told her, right? That sometimes as kids we can see things a little more clear, or we can see the outlines a lot better because we don't have so many distractions. Um, so clearly they had seen it and had stated their opinion beforehand with her. But um, finally, the cops arrived. They, had us tell our story. Could have sworn I was recording, but I guess I was fumbling a little bit too much, adrenaline. And I didn't record a single damn thing. And I thought I had recorded the threat because he threatened my brother, literally, like he threatened. Um, and so I really wish it had fucking recorded and saved. But I don't know if it glitched, if I pressed the wrong button or something. But and that was in the middle of us all cooking like very important food, like that kind of critical food that you need to keep your fucking eye on. Somehow it was a miracle. Thankfully, nothing was burnt, and I mean like fire burnt. So um, that was good. But then afterwards, my dad, him and my brother, they both escorted her. They drove her back, and sure enough, the guy was over there at her house waiting for her. And he started making, I guess, a scene or wanting to, and my dad was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you? What's the purpose? Do you understand that you're gonna go to jail if you continue this? Like, do you accept that?" And he immediately pulled out like, "I have kids. I left them for her. Blah blah blah. Like, I help her out." And my dad's like, "Okay, and I understand that you're angry, but why the fuck are you doing this then? Like, no one's making you do this. Like, do you understand that you're only gonna like make the situation so much worse for yourself? You're gonna go to jail, and now your daughters aren't gonna have you at all. Like, do you understand that? Like, you know." So, I'm like super shaky because I get so angry and I explode. So there's that. That was fun. And let's see. Continued. They took forever once they went back to drop her off because my dad had to end up telling her folks she was over there, and as a heads up, right, as a courtesy. So they came back, we finished cooking, got a little bit ready. This was not the look I was going to go for. I was supposed to go for a 90s look, but that went out the window with all the cooking delayed. And we went over to my sister's and pigged out, like I'm sure everyone else did. I'm like super exhausted because I've been cooking nonstop for 2 days in a row. Um, I don't know if it's just exhaustion at this point that's keeping me going. That's why I just figured I'd go on live. Might as well keep myself entertained. So, and I do have videos. My problem is the editing. I don't have time to edit. Like I can quickly record, film, whatever you want to call it, but when it comes to editing, that's the part that drags the most. And I don't have a software on my computer. My computer is extremely old, if you can't tell by the cam. And I don't have internet, so I'm technically using the hotspot from my phone to juice this. So, yeah. And oh, so I got a good tour of my sister's house, and let me tell you, her fucking bathroom. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. It's so pretty. Like, if I only knew how to take proper pictures, like immediately like that, instead of having to take 100 and need at least 2 hours in the bathroom or anywhere to like get a good fucking picture. So I have to take multiple pictures, which you will probably see on Instagram because I cannot decide which one is the best. So it's one of those. Oh, and I really can't pose. The best picture I ended up taking was the pose that was pretty much in back in what, early 2000s. That whole like up here all the way like side thing. Yeah, that was really bad. That's when I knew I need to look at myself a little more. Like taking pictures, practicing my angles. It's really annoying and self-conscious. Like it's one of those things that it's a very vain thing. I get, but then you, at least for me, I'm ashamed for liking it. So it's like you're damn if you do, damn if you don't. But we were supposed to have the kiddos here, but they followed the oldest, and so she went to her dad's, and they're having a sleepover with their godfather, which let's not get started with him. So, oh, and if you're curious, Amazon, Vanessa Mooney necklace. It's really washed out. So, and I still have my contacts in. I need to take them off because I'm fucking done. So, social. Oh, goddamn. Okay, I'm clearly tired because I'm stuttering as a motherfucker right now. Social Dilemma. I watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it, but it definitely trips you out when you kind of realize everything that you're getting your information from is technically the same thing. Like, the data, the whole filtering, recommended, your feed, and everything like that. Um, but not only that, now that I started doing, not completely dedicated in a sense, I like I wish, I hope I'm successful, right? But I don't want to get too successful at all. That's not what I want for sure. Not my. I don't do well with spotlights. Um, I'm technically using this a lot more to get comfortable with myself. I'm terrible with real people. Well, I can charm people, but I can. I'm not happy, and I'm trying to find a way to enjoy that interaction. I was really closed off as a kid. Um, I kind of there's like a 10 and 11-year gap between my siblings, and my parents really were left with the mark after them. So then they really restrained me in a lot of things. So for experiences, I don't really know. Ask me what I like. There's going to be very few basic things I can answer because I haven't experienced much. Let's see. I hope I can eventually get the courage to tell my family about this. Maybe. I don't think anytime soon, though. I think, if anything, a year if I continue this, because I'll probably be posting occasionally. If I have time, I have time. I'm also, I'll probably have more time and space when I get married afterwards, when I move in. So that's going to be a journey, which is quite the nerve wreck. Not to mention, so I'm 26 now, and obviously I'm getting married. But it's so weird now to hear your parents be so accepting of the idea of you having kids, right? Like, it was weird. It was a weird cut dry transition where they were like, okay, but like kids, right? Like, now, hurry up, we're leaving. Right? Well, my parents, they want to move back to Mexico, so that's why they're like, hurry up, we're moving. Um, it's weird. Like, I was mortified. My mother mortified me of like having kids. Um, Back in the day, I used to watch, my Channel 11 or WTW, PBS, whatever you know it by. She would switch it to TLC, the birthing channel. And so I would go from watching my cartoons to just hearing women in labor just wailing. And, you could see their legs, but things were pixelated. You still hear everything else. Well, that left me scarred. Um, did not want to have sex at all at a very young age, which I ended up finding out about. Um, yeah, that helped out a lot during high school. So I was always like, thanks, mom. I'm like, I'm not curious about that. um, Much less having kids. Like, my brother and sister, they really went through hell um, after having kids and after technically having them with their high school sweetheart. So I was like 5 years old and making a pact within myself saying, like, okay, you're not going to marry or have kids with your high school sweetheart. Absolutely not. This is not what you're going to do, because clearly thing one and thing two, it's not going to work out. Okay. So I like really ingrained that in myself. And success. Um, I was extremely stubborn. I was very stubborn and very outspoken as a teenager. I was very aggressive. I stated my opinion very strongly, especially if you were a man or a boy, technically. Um, yeah, there's just a lot, you know. I kind of always wanted to write a book, technically, but every time I keep trying, it bores me to death, and I don't know where the fuck to start, which is always the whole you know, everyone says the same thing about that. Oh, I got a typewriter. I got a new typewriter technically. It's hilarious. My fiance loves new technology, so advanced tech. Thank God I have him in my life because I don't know what I would do. But I'm completely retro. Like I'm the complete opposite of him. I know VHS, Polaroid, all the works for that kind of older stuff. And I don't mean the whole Fuji cute little camera. I'm talking about the old ones, the fuckers that like you're like doubting yourself and opening, thinking you're gonna break them. Like that kind of old dinosaur technology. Like I'm super passionate about that. And for him, it's the complete opposite. It's pretty funny. So he has his advanced stuff, and I have my collection of Polaroid, which recently I got the SX70 land camera. I'm over the moon about it. I got so lucky, and the carry-on bag, which is leather. Don't support leather that much, but this is vintage, so it's you know. Um, Typewriter. Let's see. Smith Corona Smith coronavirus. Um, it's a black one, which that's exactly what I wanted. I think it's a 40s, 1940s typewriter. I just need to buy the ribbon and I want to try typing. If not, I might do something and make a small business in Etsy. So, I don't know. And I've I have a few more ideas for Etsy, but I can't talk about them. And I also need to find out about the copyrights. I don't know how that works out. I hope I can do it, and I hope it's successful. Yeah, I really need to get a better camera. Mm. Is it weird that I made a pact that I would light one tea light candle every night till I can complete the promise. Um, I had promised something for this year that's coming up, which I know it's not going to be possible for me to go um, and visit Mexico to fulfill it. So I promised that I would light a tea light candle until I can complete it. And when I complete it, I have to take flowers. They're offerings. So, um, and I haven't decided yet if I'll do it walking or how exactly. So, let's see. Because I have a feeling that by then I'll probably have a kid. I don't know. Life moves on so fast. I keep looking at myself and I'm like, I can't believe like my body is gonna morph in a good way, right? But different. I think the most I've weighed was I think like close to 160. I think it was like 158 or something. Um, that was the highest I've weighed, and I was my family made their opinions. um, but I do think it was birth control actually. Actually, I had next plan, and I didn't realize I had gained so much weight or had gotten that swollen or whatever. My parents are on top of me now. They're like, "You look like you're sick. Like, why are you so skinny?" I'm like, "I'm not skinny. I'm eating the same amount. It's just, I guess my body's taking it differently now or something. So there's that. I'm excited for that chapter though. Scared shitless, as I should, right? I know what to expect, but it has been a while since we've had a baby in the house, any household. So, and even for him, like technically his only niece, she's already 18, going to be 19, I believe. So that's a long time for a family not to have a baby if you really think about it. Like the last time you've held a baby, if you've ever held a baby or wanted to. Mm, but still, like, I get it. His mom actually, she's always asking me, she's like, so come on. I'm like, that's really uncomfortable for you to say to me. Like, I get it, but I want to do it with you telling me to do it. Um, mm, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do something like handmaiden or anything like that. Like, that's way too much. So, mm, which is an amazing book, by the way. The show's amazing, but I actually have the book. I want to get it in a hardcover and display it almost like a Bible. I know that might be offensive. Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. I take it back. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. Mm. When you spit out those stupid ideas, that was supposed to keep that one in my head. Mm. Okay, it's like 1:30 now. I'm tired. Good night.